If your hips and shoulders move together, you could be losing 5 to 10% of your power, and most players don't even realize it. I'm Nick, the hitting doc, and this is part 3 of our mechanics series. We're going to talk about hip shoulder separation today. Let's jump into it. Okay, so we have the same video of Acuña here. We'll walk through his swing again. So he's nice and balanced, good upright posture. He's moving toward the pitcher. Hands are staying back. He's moving, but he's not going too far, okay? He's kind of keeping that weight back as he moves his center of mass forward. Kind of counterintuitive, but that's what he's doing. Foot gets down, nice soft landing, and then notice that his front foot, or front leg rather, is stiff. The front side is firm. And just look at this picture. It's kind of subtle, but the key here is his belt buckle is opening, okay? So we're getting good pelvic rotation that we talked about in the last video, okay? So belt buckle is opening up toward the pitcher. But the key here is that the shoulders are staying back, okay? So it's pretty subtle, but if you look closely, you can see he's got this nice stretch in the torso, and it's causing his jersey to make these marks, showing that it's getting really tight, okay? So this is the same idea with hip shoulder separation, is when the pelvis opens, okay, when you rotate and keep the shoulders back, you're kind of creating a stretch across the abdominal muscles, okay, like this, and the fascia as well, and it's acting like a rubber band, okay? So you are tightening the rubber band by staying separated, keeping hip shoulder separation, and then when you're ready to release it, okay, you let go, and then the torso and everything else flies through, okay? So this is where energy is conserved in the chain. It's huge. 5 to 10% of your exit velocity can be wasted or conserved at this point, okay? Most kids that are young don't do this well, okay? And this is also huge for getting your bat on plane, staying in sequence, okay, preventing rollovers and stuff like that. So you can see the stretch in the torso, okay, and I added a little visual overlay here on this next one. So imagine the green line is like the rubber band, okay, and as he's striding and getting that front side down, you can see that the rubber band is getting stretched out, okay, and that is where we want to be. Hands, shoulders back, torso's opening up, you're stretching that rubber band to its maximum point before you release the bat head, okay? So if that is kind of hard to visualize, I made this image. This is straight out of my book, the Baseball Hitting Guidebook, okay? And this is kind of a top-down bird's eye view. So if we're above the hitter, we're looking at the pelvis and the shoulders, okay? So the pelvis is this red line here. For the colorblind folks, that is this line. That's our pelvis, okay? So it's opening up toward the pitcher. And then the green line represents the shoulders as they stay back, okay? So you can see that there's an angle between the pelvis and the shoulders that opens up, okay? So the pelvis open, shoulders closed, you get this nice angle. And that is what hip shoulder separation is, okay? It's kind of hard to visualize or coach to some kids, but this can be a helpful visual just to see. So we want to keep as much shoulder separation as we can. Another great example is Mookie Betts, if you want to see someone who's good at this, okay? Okay, so now let's look at Evan Gattis, same video again. I like these top-down views. They're kind of hard to find. But I want you to look. You can see he's got the nice stride again, good scap load, hands going back toward the catcher. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay, he's moving forward, firm front side, pelvic rotation is powerful toward the pitcher, shoulders staying back, okay? So this is a great view to see. Pelvis is opened up, shoulders stay back. Now this is where we get that angle we're talking about, okay? So the pelvis is open, shoulders are back, and that's the angle we want, okay? So that is also what's going to allow him to take this pitch to opposite field, okay? So helps him see the ball deep and go oppo with it, okay? So hip shoulder separation also acts as like a buffer if you're trying to let a pitch travel. Say it's a curveball, you weren't expecting it, you can kind of just let the hips keep going, and then fire. It gives you a little bit more of a window to make proper timing. Okay, so let's talk about the scap load now. So this is also another image out of my book, and we talked briefly about it during the stride, okay, my first video in the mechanics series. But when you are, as you're striding, you see all these MLB players, they kind of do this. Most coaches talk about the coil or the load, kind of ambiguous terms, but this is what's really happening, okay? They're pulling their scapula back, their shoulder blades, toward the spine. So you can see Mookie here. This is just an overlay of kind of where the scapula is, and he's pulling it back toward his spine. So you have muscles back there that can do that, okay? And that's what he's doing here. What this does is you're starting your separation early, okay? The hips aren't going yet, but you're starting the shoulders staying closed, okay? So it's giving you more separation early. So this is kind of a pro tip. A lot of young guys don't do this well. So this is something that can really help, boost power pretty much instantly. Okay, so that's the scap load, and we're gonna revisit this video again, okay? So look at what he's doing here. Boom, that's the motion we're looking for, pulling that scapula back. So look up high. He's scap loading, pulling that shoulder back, okay? And it's closing the torso. It's giving his hands more of a window to accelerate to top speed eventually, okay? So that's what we're after. Another point I want to make is some people aren't good at this, partly because their mobility is limited, okay? A lot of us are here, we're slouching, okay? So we need to work on our posture. And it's the same reason pitchers do this too. You try to pull those shoulders back, and then you notice they have better scap load and they can throw harder because of it, okay? So make sure you stay mobile, good posture. So now I have a video of high school, random video I found of some game film. Now I want you to see here that he doesn't do these things very well, okay? So he's loading already. You don't see any scap load. Here's the poor crunching posture I was talking about, okay? You can kind of see it. Maybe a little bit of a scap load there, kind of toward the end, kind of drops the hands down, not up nice up and high where we want them. But you can see that he's not in quite an ideal position to get maximum hip shoulder separation. So doesn't have quite the scap load. You can see that his front foot's a little closed off. That's okay, but his hips aren't really even going yet when that front side lands, okay? So it's pretty weak pelvic rotation off the start. Now, this is where he's really losing power, okay? Notice how his hands are already firing and he didn't give himself any separation at all. So his front foot gets down, the hips and the shoulders kind of move as one piece. He doesn't get any separation, okay? There should be kind of a lag. It's not much. You can see it really slow motion, but he doesn't have any of that. So his hands are already going, okay? And what that's gonna do is not only waste power, but now he's not in a good position to square up this baseball with proper timing, okay? So you can see that the hands and the hips kind of are one piece, okay? He doesn't have much stretch across the torso, kind of a loose jersey, but still you'd expect a little bit more of a stretch there if he's doing this right. The hands go early with the hips, and look what this does to his timing, okay? He's early, and the result, rollover right in front of the plate, okay? Double play. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something about hip shoulder separation. Like I said, this is a huge way you can, boost your numbers, whether you're a player or coach. This is, something that's super undertrained and kind of glossed over at the lower levels. So It's, you know, high yield if you want to get some instant power through some easy fixes, okay? If you like this, please like and subscribe. And if you're looking for more detailed content, I have my free PDF linked in my channel description, as well as my full hitting guide, the baseball hitting guidebook. It's on Amazon, ebook, hardcover, or paperback. It's got everything you need. It's got everything you need right there. I think 20 drills in there. It's got hitting challenges, checklists, all that stuff. So anyway, till next time.